Hi everyone, it's Vicky here and today I'll be making a card using again the February card kit by Simon Says Stamp. The pattern paper and the stamp set that I'm using are both included in the kit. So now I'm cutting down this pattern paper slightly smaller than a standard card, and my standard card is made out of craft cardstock, and that cardstock is also included in the kit. As you can see, once I've adhered the pattern paper on top of my card base, you can see that there is a slight border all around. And that's another pattern paper included in the kit. I am cutting out a panel that's 2.5 wide, and I plan to add this at the center of the card. Just because there is this a ring of dots in the stamp set, I am using my punch to punch out this hole there, and I'm going to use a white scrap paper and cover the back of the hole. I'm doing this because I'm planning to add some flowers there, and I don't want the background to be too busy. So I'm using my tape runner and adhere that white cardstock just behind my central panel. And now I'll go ahead and cut out the central panel to the height that I want to. This should be 2.5 by 5.25. And now it's time to go ahead and stamp the flowers. I'm using this piece of pattern paper that it's a leftover actually from yesterday's card, and I'm using my Versamark to stamp the flowers there. I'm going to use white embossing powder and then heat set the flowers. After the flowers are ready, I'm using my scissors to cut all the flowers. Actually, I've stamped 4 of them, but I'm going to use only 3. Now that my flowers are ready, I'm going to use these dash lines which comes from another stamp set by Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to add some faux stitching around the central panel. You can also use your white gel pen to go ahead and do your faux stitching, but after using this stamp in my latest card, I fell in love with it, and I think you'll see me using it a lot. And I'm also going to emboss this ring of dots that's included in the stamp set that fits exactly around the punched circle that I did in that panel. And while I'm doing my embossing, just to remind you all that there is a giveaway running on my blog. Simon Says Stamp is generous enough to give away one of the February card kits to my readers, so make sure to visit my blog and enter your details. And as always, you can find all the supplies I'm using listed just below the video. Now I'm using my pen to draw a line exactly where that circle is, because I plan to stamp the leaves on the background. Actually, I'm going to change my mind later, but I think it has its value to leave it as is and show you the process and why I changed my mind later on. So I'm going to stamp using green ink at the background, some leaves and the stems of the flowers. And now I'm using foam squares at the back of the panel to stick it on top of my card base. But first I'm going to erase the pencil mark that I did to mark where the circle is. I'll then go ahead and use smaller foam squares and adhere the 3 flowers in the center of the circle there, but I've changed my mind after looking at it. Just because I added the stems and the leaves at the background, it made the center of the circle too busy, and I already have a busy background, so I decided to cover everything up with a white circle and go ahead and stick the flowers again on the top, which I think looks much better now. And now it's time to stamp the sentiment. I'm using Versamark ink because I'm going to white emboss the sentiment there. I'm using the UR from the stamp set as well as the Mist. And I'm just stamping one below the other and using my white embossing powder there. And then I'm going to heat set it. Just because I have too much light in my filming area, you might not be able to tell what the sentiment says. The truth is that in real life it looks great, but you have to check out the photos at the end of the video and see for yourself. Now I'm adding just a small heart at the end of the Mist sentiment there. And I'm going to use my clear Wink of Stella pen and add some glitter on the flowers and also on the heart. And finally, to finish off the card, I'm adding pearls at the center of the flowers. And here is the other card I created using the same card kit by Simon Says Stamp. Thank you for watching today. I hope you had fun and got inspired.